This week has been an absolute gong show. It's unbelievable, but it just keeps getting richer and richer as we go. And as I host this No Mask Sass group, the antics are getting even more hilarious. This morning, well, last night, I was alerted to the fact that the word is now off limits against community standards, or maybe just in our case on No Mask Sask, or anybody that wants to take us out. By the time I woke up this morning, I had five of them. And so I had to put the little edict up. No F word. You know, we've been really lucky at No Mask Sask because we've attracted some people with brain cells. So we don't get a lot of true dope and all of this lingo going on. And honestly, not a lot of the F word. Every time I let a wave in, I have to let it sit for a bit, let it stew and see what happens before I let another wave in. And some waves are, again, I believe, just sent in to take us down. But it's getting pretty bad. I get a lot of imagery in the day that is provocative, too provocative. I know it's going to have us forced down. Now I'm going to tell you a little story about what happened yesterday and maybe give you an idea of the kind of setups I'm dealing with. A woman sent me something really juicy. In fact, it was a 3D photo of her child, and he had been on a bus, and he forgot his mask, and she had all these excuses. This happens. But apparently her child was issued a mask from a bus driver. Now this is in Saskatchewan here. In any case, he got this rash apparently. And she had put some cream on it in the morning and then taken a picture, and it did look pretty bad. But when I got it, I knew darn well. Number one, he's a child. So it was going to be a problem. Number two, I wanted to let the mom know what she was exposing her child to and herself in terms of pushback, because it's real. And I've had a lot of moms talk to me about this, and this is why I would always warn somebody. But number three, my suggestion was to get around all of it would be that I do an interview with her, one-on-one, and she can show a picture of the child, just the mouth down, so that we can see what it is. And I would, of course, need to see the child just to know. But other than that, that's the only way I would post that, because it could leave us open to liability and all sorts of things. And again, we're just a Facebook group. What to do, right? In any case, my thing is CYA, cover your ass. And I live by that. Didn't get a response from her. Nothing. Then this morning, she tries to post again, asking a question about how many people in the group would actually get a vaccine if it was to come available. And I wrote her back at that point. And of course, I've already checked her out, and I figured out who her husband was and who he's connected to. And then, of course, the vaccine post comes this morning. And then I message her and I ask her, why didn't you respond to my question of yesterday? But secondly, now you're dropping this and you're asking for a yes or a no, like you're doing a poll. And I'd like to know who you're working for. Yeah, no response. I don't expect I will get one. But this is how it rolls. And this is why I'm at the controls. And you have to be, because the groups, with the nature of our content, they're not going to last. They're going to continue to be infiltrated, taken down, set up. And the setups are getting a little ridiculous. I head off a lot and I don't talk about it. I have a few friends I tell. And sometimes I don't say anything at all because there's just too many of them. Kind of like the last, 2 weeks. 2.5 now. First, of course, we've got leaked documents of quarantine camps. Dundurn shows up first, and that is just outside of Saskatoon. It's a military base, and apparently there is a tear gas requisition for there. The following week, then there's just the tear gas requisitions, and people tried to drop this continually, just so you know, 100 times for sure. And when I wouldn't let them through, then they went into the comments and started dropping them there, where I weeded them continually and deleted people from the group. Then we've got the trains with the military equipment that's outside of Kindersley. Then we've got the leaked Liberal document. And it's just one after another, like a marketing cycle. And of course, because I'm in Control Central and watching every post come through, that's what I do all day, guys. And I'm seeing this. And I'm going, no way, we're getting set up here. Spidey senses on 10. What's more remarkable is how many people are buying that. There was a video made a couple weeks back about a protest in Quebec, and that there were UN soldiers there. And you can clearly see they're not UN soldiers. And if you've done any work and done some digging and investigating, you would know that's not a UN military uniform. We don't know what a lot of this is, but we have to stop letting them infiltrate us, because I'm going to tell you something. All of these documents arrived and were filtering, and then all the chapters of the line got taken out. Yes, they did. Mothers Against Distancing, taken out. There's only one difference between me and them, and then the content is this content. I didn't post it, and I'm still standing. And now they're coming after us for the simple F word. Because they're desperate, because I'm not falling for it. Instinct, my friends. And society systematically tried to delete it. As much as I want to be the first scoop on everything, and I've been taken in, don't get me wrong, I have, and that's why I've learned. But when my spidey senses are tingling, there's no way. I step back, and when the nature of this material incites fear. And that's what I'm accusing the media of continually. Why would we be contributing to that? Should we not be taking a stance on digging in a whole lot further before we start publishing this type of thing? Because what it's doing is actually feeding the opposition and their whole reasoning for taking us out and taking us down. Exactly. There is a lot that Randy Hiller has had to say that has extreme relevance. But the way all of this material dropped just after, like he was after the Dundurn. And when he started coming out talking was right when all that tear gas nonsense started dropping. Did you ever consider that was all filtered out in order to delineate everything he said? Because that's what I see. His concerns, although highly relevant, have now been officially swept under the carpet by the media as conjecture and conspiracy. We're doing ourselves in, is what's happening. And I'm finding that the mainstreaming of the group is actually beneficial to the cause right now in order to keep out that nonsense. I want this group to be organic in and what you're thinking and your thoughts. And what I'm finding again is I'm a mom with a wooden spoon, making sure that all the bullies leave you alone and let you play. this is a sad state of affairs, but it's only going to get worse because the NWO is in control. And our democracy has pretty much been overthrown. It's all manipulation. And you can't fight a communist invasion with the freedom that we feel entitled to. It's odd because the free speech is actually taking us out. So much information is available that it's so easy to plant. And since I started the group, I can see the seeding. I see the influencers. I've seen teachers trying to sway moms into acceptance of the mask. I delete them fast. But this is when freedom, and actually the communists are using our freedom against us and our concept of it. It's diabolical. And honestly, I left publishing 10 years ago and I ran away to South America because at that point freedom is dead and free speech is dead because I got hammered and then taken to the cleaners financially. I realized that then, and here I find myself back. And again, running the group, I saw this right off the get-go. I knew what I was going to have to do, and I was going to have to keep those controls tight and not let anybody in. It's not easy. I try to let the last post go around 1 a.m. Hopefully I don't fall asleep earlier. In any case, guys, doing my best here. But we're getting hammered from all ends, and we need to be discerning. Why is it we're so discerning of what the mainstream sends out, and then when we get it from one of our own, we think it's God's word? We have to stop that. Discerning on all levels. MSM and sources from the inside, because I'm seeing some are pretty easily compromised. And it's not for lack of trying. It's inexperience. This is a new game and a new level we've never encountered. The communists are hijacking us, and this is a global effort. We are going the way of China because every single system and level of censorship is coming directly from their program. They perfected it. We're a globe now. And if we want to have any sovereignty or autonomy, we need to part from the United Nations, and we need to do it now.